The National Flood Insurance Program is on the brink of bankruptcy, and a D.C. think tank says Congress needs to do more to help. One America's Augusta Cassada reports from Washington.
Well, June marks the beginning of hurricane season along the eastern seaboard. But here in D.C., the R Street Institute is issuing the first warning of the season. The free market think tank here on Capitol Hill says if Congress doesn't provide more accountability over the National Flood Insurance Program, then it could literally take one giant storm to knock that program into bankruptcy. The federal agency writes most flood coverage in the U.S., and its assistance is crucial for the hundreds of millions of Americans that live near the coast. Current laws allow the program to borrow nearly $31 billion from federal taxpayers, but because of the recent megastorms of Katrina and Sandy, the program owes the Treasury $24 billion. One more major hurricane hitting anywhere on the Gulf or East Coast could easily cost another $10 billion. That would bankrupt the program. R Street Institute senior fellow Lori Sanders tells One American News the need for more insurance subsidies won't be good news for Republicans during this election year.
Really, anytime there's a major storm event, there's always disaster supplemental spending. And that's particularly hard for Republicans, especially, I would think, in an election year where they keep claiming to be all about reduced spending. But if there's any storm event at all, they're going to have to pay. So after Sandy, it was very hard because they wanted to offset the spending, and then you get in nasty wars about, well, these people need the funding, we shouldn't be looking to offset it. But really, we should. And if we had just fixed the flood insurance program to begin with, we wouldn't need to have these type of disaster supplementals anymore.
Back in 2012, Congress had a bipartisan approved plan to fix the need for these outrageous subsidies, but began to roll back the reforms as soon as it came time to actually pay the costs. Sanders tells us that those who are most hurt by the government rollbacks are low-income people who live in relatively safe areas, but still in the flood zone. R Street hopes for more reforms in the future.
What we should be looking for is, an incremental solution that helps the people that need the help, but then puts the responsibility on the people who can afford to take the responsibility so that the program lasts for people who need it without being there for everyone.
The National Flood Insurance Program is on the verge of a natural disaster and debt, and R Street feels Congress should be more proactive this hurricane season to ensure fiscal responsibility. Augusta Cassada, One American News, Washington.